Next up on my list of things to do on my van that never seems to get any shorter is the alternator. I mean, I can't really complain. It's a 2009 van, so it's how old? It's old, basically. Things are going to go wrong, and I'm working through that list. Let me show you why I think I need to replace the alternator first, and then we'll go ahead and replace it and see if that does actually fix the issue. Excuse the mess. I'm halfway through replacing the lighting on my cab. I've got all of the cob lighting here ready to go up, but it's not stuck yet. I've got a little dimmer here, which is great. Anyway, let me turn that off and show you what happens. So just make sure I am in neutral. Fire up the engine and I'll show you why I think I need to replace the alternator. You hear that? There's your alternator. And I'm pretty sure that that's what's causing that noise. I'll show you why. So I'll just quickly show you. I forgot to do this right at the start, but you'll need to remove this cover for the auxiliary belt, and there are just two 10mm bolts. There's one here. And then there's one a little bit further back. It is right here. The drive shaft's just a little bit in the way, but you can normally get your impact driver in with an extension bit, and that will drop down, revealing your auxiliary belt. Now we've got the cover off, you can kind of see most of the auxiliary drive system, auxiliary or serpentine belt. So this is what drives a bunch of the secondary systems like the alternator, water pumps up there, and it's driven by the crankshaft here. So when you turn the engine on and the engine turns, it turns this, which in turn spins all of these things. So you need the water pump running so that you can pump coolant around your van. The alternator allows you to charge the battery. So yeah, there's a bunch of different quite key components on here, and I suspect that the issue is on the alternator. I think it sounds like a bearing has gone somewhere on the system. So what I need to do is slacken off the auxiliary belt so I can take it off of here, and then I can sort of fiddle around with the bearing on the alternator, and well, I think that's what's gone. The way we're going to slacken off the belt is by turning the tensioner. So your tensioner is this one here. It's right next to the oil filter and just up and to the left of the crankshaft. And you need a 15mm ring spanner, ideally longer than this. And you're going to attach it on like so, and then you're going to turn this clockwise, and that is going to, the whole mechanism is going to rotate downwards, and you're going to take the tension out of the belt, and it's going to allow you to lift the belt off of the alternator. It's definitely important to take a picture of how it all looks now, because if it comes off completely and drops down, you need a reference point to put it back correctly. Now this vehicle is non-aircon. If you had aircon, then there's a longer belt and there's more components. So there's something to note. Okay, so I want to try and show you. So I've got the spanner on there, and as I pull this, I want you to see, do you see the tensioner? The whole tensioner actually moves down, and you can see here, as I pull this down, you can see the belt slackens. So I need two hands to do this, so slacken the belt off so I can lift it off of the alternator. I'm going to rotate it clockwise with my right hand so that I can shimmy this up here like so. Just gently. Oh, there we go. Let's lift that off and release. Not too hard. I bet my whole belt sprung off now. No, I think we're all right. Everything else has stayed in place. And with the belt out the way, so what I'm looking for is movement in the bearing. So if I turn it, well, firstly, I would say it turns a little too freely, but if I try and rock it, let's see what happens. Up and down. All right, side to side. Can you hear that? So there shouldn't be that movement there. So if you imagine that spinning at this whatever speed it does, quite fast, now any of that movement is going to be amplified, isn't it, and make lots of noise. So I think to me, that's pretty conclusive. We need to take the alternator out, so I'll show you how to do that now. The next thing I need to do is disconnect the power. And for context, here is the alternator belt side. So I'm now on the other side of the alternator. I'm right underneath the starter motor. So I thought I might be able to illustrate for you what we're trying to do here. You can see the orientation of the alternator there. And if I now come out and have a look at my replacement, this is from my old van, it sits in this orientation. So there's that little cap that's got to come off here on the van, and that will allow me to remove this, which looks like it could be a 10mm. Yeah, so that's a 10mm nut which needs removing, and then that's going to allow us to remove that battery cable. And then we've got 3 8mm nuts to take out, and that will lift off and give us much better access to remove the socket here, because you could pull it, but there's a clip, and by taking the cover off, you're revealing the pin that you need to push in to pull the connector off. So that might all sound very straightforward, but let's see how that translates back under the van. So firstly, there's that little cover to remove. Right, yeah, that looks like it's just a little cover which just pulls off. So I'll put that to the side. That seems to be coming off easily enough. Okay, and then almost there. Oh, we are there. I think we've got it. Yeah. So then you should be able to lift this battery cable. Watch out, there could be a washer, I'm not sure. No washer. So that can just drop down. The battery's disconnected, so it can't do anything. So I'll just tuck it up out the way there. And then, now I've already removed those 3 8mm nuts. So we're going to lift this off, hopefully. Perfect. Revealing the back of the alternator, and more importantly, the power clip, which looks like it's going to be really easy to remove now. So that effort was certainly justified, I think. So if we take another look at this one, it looks like, I think the bit we need to push in, so we're pulling the outside of the clip off. I think it's a shroud style connector. That's quite helpful. Okay, so to get this connector off, you've got to push this in here, and then you can slide it off like so. Easy. So with all of the cables removed, the next thing to do is unbolt the whole alternator from the van, and to do that there are 2 10mm bolts. The first one here, that one's easy, but if you've just lifted your auxiliary belt up out the way like I have, then just be wary of it, because it's really near to the bolt you're going to be loosening off. We're going to see if we can loosen it off. There we go, with a cracker bar. And let's try the top one as well if we can reach it. I can't actually see it. Is it there? Yeah, I think it's there. Now, that's a problem. Can't actually get to it. How are you going to get to that? That's a real pain. For the top one, I can't actually get the cracker bar in there because the socket's too deep and it hits the chassis here. So I'm going to use an offset spanner here, and I think this should do it. Let's try with this again. I need a slightly deeper socket. Yes. Ah, finally. So you can't actually get the top one out. So now they're both out. I thought I could do a side-by-side comparison. You can just instantly hear that something's gone. There's something moving around in there. Okay, get one in and then you can let go. And then for the top bolt, you've got to locate it and push it in first, because if you try and put it in when you're all the way up here, the chassis gets in the way and you can't actually insert it. So you need to push it in down here. And that's actually why I think this top one here is grooved. So that should allow that to just slot in place even if the bolt's pushed through, and it just acts as a clamp. You might need to give it a whack with the mallet to get it to locate over the hole. Okay, with the replacement unit in and nipped up, we're going to reconnect the electrical connector here, electrical cover, that wants to go back on there. You can locate it on the studs. If you get two of them, you've got all of them. 1, 2, there we are, all the way on. 3 8mm nuts. One, second one's up at the top here, and then the third one, that's it. Brilliant. Nice, that'll do. Okay, that's nicely in place. That goes in there. Now I've just got to put the belt back on. So before you go and try and get the belt back on, you just want to do a quick visual and check. You can see here that the belt's actually come off of slightly off of the other bearings. You need to make sure that it is in place. So this one's going to come back round over here. And in order to do that, I'm going to take my 15mm again, and I'm going to get the spanner onto the tensioner like so, and then turn it like that, and then okay, and then as you're slowly letting go, you just want to be looking around and making sure it's pulled in all the right places, and it looks like it is. And then just try and look closely everywhere and double check. So you want to be looking around here, at the back. Yeah, looks good. So all we got to do now is test the alternator. Oh no. How's that happened? Why is it locked? My keys are in there. Now, clearly that's a reenactment. I've got my spares here. That did happen, and my dad had to come around with the spare so I could get in. But it's something worth noting. When you reconnect the battery on a Transit Connect, may you do it on other vehicles, I'm not sure, it cycles the locks. So do not have your keys in the ignition or inside the vehicle when you reconnect the battery, especially if it's your only set, because you will get locked out. Right, so now we're back in the van. I'm just going to fire up the engine and make sure it's in neutral, and we're just going to check that the belt is running properly. We're not getting the noise from the replacement alternator, and then after that I will just stick a multimeter on the battery to check that it is charging when the engine is running. Now that's all looking pretty good to me. Let me show you thoughts on it. All looks to be running very smoothly. I have got oil issues to deal with, but they're not related to the alternator. So I'm very happy with that. So all we've got to do now is check that the battery's charging. So we've got the multimeter in volt detection mode, 20 volt. Pop it against there, and negative on negative, positive on positive, and we've got a healthy 14 volts. So when I turn the engine off, that will drop down to 12-ish, but because it's over 12, that means it's charging. We've got nice healthy voltage still, but it's no longer charging because the engine's not running, therefore the alternator is not spinning, therefore there's no power coming through to here. So that's all good. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please remember to subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more videos like this. I've also got a van conversion series. I've been converting this van for quite a while now. It's locked, of course. It's basically done. There's a whole camper back here, but go check out my van conversion playlist if you want to see that. I've got a house renovation that I'm in the middle of, which is, as I say, ongoing, lots to come there. And what do you want to see me do next on my van in terms of maintenance? Because there's all sorts to get through. I've got oil leaks. Are there any repairs you want to see me do? If so, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one, which I think is going to be a wheel bearing replacement.